So, Nancy Pelosi, the 800-year-old ancient evil spirit, has stepped down as the leader of the House Democrats. And I just wanted to introduce you to the guy who's replacing her, Hakeem Jeffries. He's a pretty awesome dude. Let me show you. Now, I want you to watch this, like the first comparison, the first analog to this that comes to mind for you. Because I know the first one that came to me.
And then you had to deal with the first intifada, and Israel prevailed. And Israel had to deal with the second intifada, and Israel prevailed. And then missiles were flying in December of 2008, and Israel prevailed. And then missiles were flying in November of 2012, and Israel prevailed. And so I'm confident that when it's all said and done, we're going to stand together. Israel today, Israel tomorrow, Israel forever. God bless you. Right to defend itself against aggression, particularly when that aggression is directed at its civilian population. We mourn the loss of civilian life on both sides.
Civilian life on both sides. 1,462 dead Palestinians. 6 dead Israelis.
Of the conflict. But when you live in a tough neighborhood, Israel should not be made to apologize for its strength.
Wow. This is a Nazi speech. This is a straight up Nazi speech, right? It's a Nazi speech. This is the new leader of the House Democrats. When I watch this, it's like watching a fucking History Channel segment on Hitler, one of the 90 that they play per day.
You know why? Because the only thing that neighbors respect in a tough neighborhood is strength.
Wow.
And we've got to continue to deliver that message until the missiles stop flying.
Keep killing them until they stop fighting back. Holy shit, it's a Nazi party rally.
And until the tunnels are destroyed. And then missiles were flying in.
They managed to find someone worse than Nancy Pelosi. That is an achievement. That is really fucking impressive. That is amazing. So the new House Democrat leader is a guy who gives like Nazi-esque rallies supporting Israelis' fucking genocide of Palestinians. Keep beating the Palestinians up until they submit, until they stop fighting back.
Someone said to me, they said, Hakeem, you're going to Israel a 5th time? I said, listen, I'm from New York City. And back home in New York City, we consider Jerusalem to be the 6th borough. As long as I have the opportunity to serve in Congress, I'm going to make sure that that aid continues in a strongly robust fashion, no conditions.
Jeffries has gone on to support legislation that would punish companies for endorsing the boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement against Israel. And it's clear that under his leadership, the Democratic Party will be just as adversarial to leftists hoping to win primary elections. The American Prospect reported on his prior activities crushing the left. He started the Team Blue PAC last year to help fund the campaigns of incumbent centrist Democrats against left-wing challengers. And his main ally on that project is Rep. Josh Gottheimer, the corporate Democrat who was instrumental in sinking the social welfare programs in the Build Back Better legislation. Prospect noted that the formation of Team Blue was likely about, quote, settling scores with young squad-adjacent progressives.
Wow. They managed to find someone worse than Nancy Pelosi. Like, Nancy Pelosi obviously was incredibly pro-Israel and everything, and she believed in all that same shit as well, but I can't imagine her giving, like, an impassioned Hitler-esque speech about how Israel should crush the Palestinians until they stop fighting back for their land. And, in case you were wondering where his money comes from, the Pro-Israel America PAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, APAC. I preferred 2PAC. Yeah, that's pretty wonderful, isn't it? You know, it's one thing for Americans to just make a reluctant vote for the Democrats because they're not as bad as the Republicans. It's another thing for, as a lot of them do, to just like enthusiastically advocate for the Democrats when the Democrats are this. The Democrats are this guy saying that Israel should continue to crush Palestinians until they stop fighting back.
Stop flying, and until the neighbors respect in a tough neighborhood is strength. And we've got to continue to deliver that message until the missiles stop flying and until the tunnels are destroyed. And then missiles were flying in December of 2008, and Israel prevailed. And then missiles were flying in November
This is it's a Nazi rally. It's a fucking Nazi rally.
2012, and Israel prevailed. And so I'm confident that when it's all said and done, we're going to stand together. Israel today, Israel tomorrow, Israel forever. God bless you.
It's just unfucking believable. Disgusting, man. I don't know how someone can not just like voting for this party, whatever, advocating for them, like straight up advocating for them, posting epic Dark Brandon memes. Now that's another thing entirely. Oh wait, that's a reference to a segregation quote. Oh my god, I didn't even realize. Yeah, apparently it's a reference to
rise to the call of freedom that have ever, and I say segregation now, segregation tomorrow, and segregation forever.
Wow, Jesus fuck, man. Speaking of dog whistles, I mean, someone who advocates for Israel is that's Israel is the epitome, like it's the epitome of modern day currently existing segregation. That's what it is. Ethnic segregation. It's wow. That's too on the nose for me, man. Jesus Christ, fuck this. Yeah, it's obviously on purpose.